Mr. Kam, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us here at the Gateway of India Dialogue. We just wanted to ask you a few questions. You've just finished your panel, so before this was the perfect time to catch you.
Thank you.
So the first question is, how is Turkey leveraging developmental finance to aid and to further its strategic foreign policy objectives? And how has Turkey benefited?
Of course, it is important to have the political stability. Since more than 15 years, with the recent government, we have the stability in the government political environment. So the economy is booming. We have increased in many aspects the capacity of the economy. Therefore, you have to be strong enough to take care of the other countries also. This is one point. And the other thing is that, of course, you have to have good planning and budgeting systems. But on all of this, the top, it has to be, they have good sense, understanding the sore, understanding the tears of the children and women or uh, negative position people. Therefore, it is important to work sincerely and understand the others' problems and develop projects. If you are sincerely acting and go to the site and find the right projects and right items, then the cost of the budgets is very low. It's not a load to the economy, but it's instead a advantage for that country. We know that many projects done in different countries are not efficient enough, spending 100 units, but only the recipients are receiving maybe the 10% or 20%. The important part is the efficiency of the usage of the budgets. Therefore, we are trying to use very low cost consumption of the implementation of the projects and develop the projects at a very low prices. So this is the one case that which makes us successful.
Um, the West, in the entire West Asian region, which is very much your neighbor, is facing a lot of change and conflict. Has the nature of aid changed with the conflicts that have come up and with the pressure of migrants and refugees that are coming into Turkey?
We are not saying even to them as refugees. We are saying guests because they are in a very difficult position and suddenly they face with a very big problem. And we have opened our doors and gates of the borders. And whenever they face any big problem, they are passing to our country. And most of them are now accommodated in the camps with a very modern camps. We have spent more than $10 billion for the Syrian people living here as government, but as NGOs, also non-governmental organizations, and the people on the street have spent more than this amount. Of course, whatever you do extra is a load for your shoulder, but we believe that the human being is working for everything, and the people who need something from you, who ask something from you, should not be make a calculation for their costs. And we are trying to increase the capacity of economy. We are working very hard, and our people are sharing and bringing more advantage to the economy and overcoming. But we know that this is not a just point that Turkey can solve itself. Especially the Western countries should take necessary steps to overcome these problems. Hundreds of people have died in the seas. They have been trying to pass into the European cities and could not arrive and sink in the sea of the Mediterranean. And hundreds of people have been difficulties still in their tents. More than 500,000 people have been died in Syria. 6 million people have been became refugee in their country, and more than 5 million people have transferred to other countries, including Turkey, Jordan, and Lebanon. So this is a very big crisis that world has to take action together.
Um, bringing this down to developmental finance, um, how do you see the shift from the grant-based approach to commercial partnerships?
A grant-based approach are important. You have to give some uh, part without having an expectation. Of course, line of credits are also important, but whenever it is doing for others, the issue of ethics has to come into consideration. If you do not have any kind of ethical approach, if you are just trying to do something to gain something from there, uh, giving a small part but expecting very large part from there, giving small part for them and trying to receive their petroleums, their metals, their natural resources, and so on. This is not a kind of giving. So this is one. Many countries are saying we have spent this amount for this grant, but in reality they didn't. They went there to get something from there. So this is an ethical issue. Same for the credit lines, for the banking systems. Some countries are coming and saying, okay, I'm going to build you an hospital, and I will give you a credit line which will term in 30 years, 40 years, very cheap credits. But when you look to the cost of the hospital, it becomes maybe double of the normal price. So this is not also a case of doing some support there. If you are expecting to sell your brand names your equipments, and trying to get them money, this is an issue of ethics. Therefore, either the government or private sector both has to approach in a more human-centered oriented. And after the government has done at least a basis, established a system there, increase the capacity of the recipient countries' capacity, then we need to have, of course, the private companies, because the companies are very realistic. They can enter there, they can make investments and do large procurements. They can hire many people there and develop very big synergy in that economy. But still, same issue has also to be taken into consideration from the private sector. If the companies are just going there to gain more and not do anything for that region, then the issue of the power of money is going to be used in a usage way. So, so in each part, every sects has to take necessary steps as the ethical part.
And finally, the my last question, which is what is the kind of economic role that you believe the region expects Turkey to play?
Turkey has a very big economical capacity, increasing its economic capacity, and also developed many capabilities, working in the risky areas. Now we are trying to support development of Afghanistan, uh, development of Syria, development of Palestine, and many parts wherever there is a crisis. Turkish government, both NGOs and companies, are all know how to manage and how to deal with the problems in the crisis area. This is an asset for the world, not just for Turkey, because nowadays the one of the biggest problem is the risk of terrorism. If you do not have any kind of security, it is very difficult to bring companies there. And as Turkey, we are always trying to bring peace in the region. We are fighting with terrorism indirectly or directly to solve the problems in Syria. There is Daesh problem in Syria, and we are affecting. They are also harming our border people there. There is problem of Daesh again in Iraq region. We have PKK, which is supported by some other countries, which is illegal organization, terror organization, and causing problems in Turkey. We are indirectly trying to overcome the problems of the Taliban in Afghanistan and trying to establish a development basis and increase the economy so that the jobless people not go away in a different places. Same in Somalia. We are trying to establish training programs, vocational programs, and supporting many development programs in Somalia so that we are trying to overcome the problems of Al-Shabaab terror organization there in that region. Therefore, we are doing our best to overcome all the problems in different regions. But as I've mentioned before, the world has to be very conscious. The world in the future is not be more comfortable than today if we do not take necessary steps. And we have to be in solidarity with other countries and to work to each other and do some concessions from our luxurious lives.
Thank you very much for taking the time.